to my channel, everyone. Today I will be sharing with you guys a story time. I'm gonna bring back some memories and share with you guys when was my first time getting drunk and my first time blacking out. So let's get started. The first time I ever got drunk, I was probably going to hit 19, if not 19 already. I'm not advertising or saying that you should drink at a young age. Definitely wait till you're legal. But for me, with the people I was surrounded with, I was actually a late bloomer when it came to drinking. And I'm comparing myself to like my cousins, my siblings, my friends. I was a late bloomer. Everyone kind of started in high school, and I waited till I was out of high school because I was against drinking before. I did mention in my last story time that I was in a relationship for a really long time, so I felt like I wasn't really out there. And in the relationship I was in had agreed that we weren't going to be consuming alcohol. So once we split up, it definitely changed. I was like, I want to have fun, I want to be social, I want to meet people, I just want to have a good time. So my best friend was actually the party girl. At that time, she was hanging out with just people that actually partied and drank and had a good time. Not saying that you have to drink to have a good time, but it sure helps. I was more of a chill person, especially because I was in that relationship. I just did mostly things like go to dinner, go to the movies, go to theme parks, things like that. And yes, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy that, but I also started to like to have my fun in other ways. So when I was single, my best friend, she would always go to parties, and I would never, really go out with her or anything. So I told my best friend, I was like, look, you need to start taking me out. You need to show me a good time. I want to have fun. I want to, just go out and meet people and just have a good time, because I saw that she was, just out there all the time, every weekend. So I started hanging out with her, and the first time I drank actually was at her home, and our parents didn't know. We kept it on the low. I told my parents that I was gonna sleep over at her house, and we had it all planned out. We were just like, okay, like she wanted to make sure that when I got drunk the first time, I was, safe and I was good. And I drove to her house, and then I had told my parents I was gonna stay over, which I did. And she had a friend that hooked us up with some drinks, and that person dropped them off, and then we snuck them into her room because of course her parents didn't know we were drinking, and we started drinking. So back in the day, a popular drink that was, I don't know if it's out there anymore, but it was called juice. It's very similar, if not the same, as Four Locos. And these drinks are, if you guys know Four Locos, they're strong. The alcohol percentage is high. So if you have, just by having one, you're probably already going to be feeling it, unless you're a heavy drinker. Like me, I know I probably wouldn't feel it anymore with just one, but with the second one, I'll start like, ooh, being on a good one. And so yeah, the drinks back then were called juice, and it was Joose. The person that got us the drink had gotten 3 for us, so we ended up splitting it. So I had one, she had one, and then I think we split half of one. And she probably actually drank a little bit more than me because I was already on a good one. I just drinking half of my first one. We were drinking in her room. We had her door closed, and we're freaking being tremendas. It's been so many years ago that I don't remember exactly what we did, but I think we were just, like being goofy, dancing, singing, and just, doing girl stuff. And I had my first drunk call that night. There was this guy I was talking to, and not talking, but we're really kind of starting to talk, but not really. I had went to high school with him, I had a class with him, and I thought he was handsome, and he was tall. That's a plus. He was tall. I think we were texting each other that day, and then I ended up drunk calling him, and then he could tell that I was drunk. That's how drunk I was. He noticed how drunk I was. I think he'd like told me to call him the next day or something. We ended up, I guess, just falling asleep after all of that. I liked the feeling of being drunk. That's the moment I realized that I was like, okay, I like getting drunk. Because if I don't have alcohol in my system, I'm more of a quiet person. It takes a while for me to kind of, you know, get comfortable if I'm around new people. But with alcohol, I'm like, all like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm just more talkative. So I like that I wasn't as shy and just, you know, I was able to communicate better and express myself better. So I liked that feeling, and that's when I fell in love with alcohol. The next day I woke up, I felt like shit. I felt very nauseous and I hated it. I was like, what is this? And she was like, you're hungover. That's what it is. Her mom made us breakfast. We went to go sit on the dining table, and then as soon as I think I was barely gonna have my first bite, because I was like, oh my god, no me va a pasar, and it didn't even make it like down my throat. I got up and ran straight to the restroom and just threw up. And then I think we ended up just telling her mom that I had gotten like food poisoning or something. I'm sure her mom knew what was up, but I don't know what the story is there. Maybe I should talk to her one of these days and I'll be like, remember that time? Did you know what was going on? I don't know. Yeah, that was the first time I got drunk. It was in a safe environment. Thankfully, it was nothing crazy where, you know, I was on the floor somewhere or anything like that. Now let's talk about the first time I blacked out. Now that was crazy for me because I had never experienced it. I had experienced, you know, when you get drunk and you forget little things and then they remind you and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that happening. I had gotten that type of drunk, but not where I completely like didn't know what happened the whole night. So the first time I blacked out, it was actually, I think it was my little sister's, my baby sister's first communion. And we threw her a big party at the house. And that time I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school. I was hitting the gym. I don't think I was really eating because when I would have the chance to eat, I would rather sleep because I was, you know, lacking sleep. It was bad. That time I got so skinny. I was just so busy that I would forget to eat, or I'd be like, I'd rather sleep right now. Since I had those 2 jobs, I don't think I had a weekend off for a couple of months. So I was super excited. I was like, finally I have a weekend off. I had requested it. So that day at the party, I had my friends on one table and then I had my family on the other table. And my family has always been about, let's take a shot, you know, and then have beer. So that night, my cousins were like, come on, let's take a shot. And my friends were like, oh, you just took a shot with them, but you're not gonna take a shot with us. And then my dumbass was like, okay, well, let me take a shot with you guys too. That way you guys don't feel left out. So that was my mistake, that I just kept going back from table to table and I was taking shots and I was drinking beer. That night, the DJ we got had brought karaoke, so we were singing. I remember the beginning. I just remember, you know, taking the shots and then starting karaoke, and then from there, I don't remember the night. I woke up. Naked. Well, not fully naked, but I only had the top that I was wearing that night. Only my top. From my waist under, I was naked, you guys, like no underwear. So at this time, I lived in the garage. So our garage was like a little studio. I had my restroom, I had my kitchen. So I was in my garage and I was laying in my bed and I woke up in the middle of the night, like confused, right? Because I was like, what? Like, when did the night end? I was just like, what happened? Like, so I get up and then I noticed that I'm not wearing any underwear or my pants that I was wearing. I was bottomless, but then I noticed that my pants were right next to my bed. So I was like just thinking, okay, maybe I got hot during the night and I just took them off, thinking I only took off my pants because I like to sleep just in my undies, TMI, but I like to sleep literally just in my undies. So I probably just, you know, took off my pants and I didn't realize that my underwear went down with my pants, you know. So I had a huge bed. I had a king bed, and then I don't know, I heard a movement, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I look over and I see a body of a girl, and I was like, what? Like, I was just tripping out. I was like, who is here? So then I got up, I went to the restroom, I put my pants on, and then I looked over and I noticed it was one of my friends, and I was like, what? She stayed over? Like, what happened? You know, I was just like tripping out. Nothing happened between you guys, so don't even assume that me and her like had anything going on. That night she got along really well with one of my cousins, so they were apparently out pretty late before she even went into the garage. So at this point I was freaking out. I was half naked. I was thinking my friend probably saw my vagina, because I was legit like probably just laying like this, and then I had my legs open. So I was like, oh my god, how embarrassing. Whatever, right? I had to put my pants back on. I was like, I'll just go back to sleep, and in the morning I'll ask questions. I'll be like, what the hell happened? So I passed out, woke up probably like, I want to say 10 in the morning, and she was gone. And my friend has always been till this day, it's been a while, but every time I've known her, she's been one to stay over, but she'll leave early in the morning and then she'll go get some rest at her house. So I think that was the first time she had ever stayed over though. So I was like, where the hell is she? So I was calling her, she wasn't picking up. I guess she had left early. So I walked out, and then all my guy cousins and my family is already up, and they're just talking. And so I stepped out of the garage, and then I just start crying, and I was like, and then the guys were like laughing at me, and they're like, why are you crying? And I was like, what happened last night? Like, I don't remember anything. Like, I just went into panic mode, because I was like, it had never happened to me. I had never blacked out, and I thank God that it happened to me when I was home. So I went inside, and my mom, pobrecita, she was like trying to curármela, and my sister was there, and then they started telling me everything that happened. So apparently that night I went to bed, I think it was gonna be 10 p.m. apenas. It was gonna be 10 p.m. So the DJ was still playing for like a couple of hours after that. They said that I was singing karaoke the whole night, and then I just kept drinking and drinking and drinking until I guess I ended up and this is where like everyone knows me for crying. Like, you know, I didn't get drunk enough if I didn't cry. So apparently I just went to sit down on the table, like I was done with karaoke or whatever, and I went to sit down and I just started crying. And I guess my sister had came up to me. I don't remember any of this, okay? This is what they told me. My sister came up to me, and that she was like, why are you crying? What's wrong? And I would just say, I don't know. And I was just crying and crying. And my best friend too, she was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and I wouldn't tell them. I was just like, I don't know. And honestly, every single time that I cry, that's always my answer. Like, I'm crying, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I'll tell you, I don't know why I'm crying. It started happening, I guess, since at a really young age. It's been like that with me. And so they said that I just kept crying, so that they were like, okay, call it a night. I don't remember who, but my girl cousins, and I think my friend, I don't know, my girl cousins or my sister or my best friend or another one of my girlfriends, they took me to the garage, and then they laid me down, and I passed out. And I was done for the night. And after that, my friend ended up calling me back. She was like, hey, like half awake, right? She's like, what happened? And I was like, are you home? Are you good? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I left early. I just got home and went back to sleep. And then I told her, I'm so embarrassed, but did you see anything? And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I woke up naked in the middle of the night, like bottomless. My vajayjay was out there. And she was like, no, what the hell? She was like, when I went in, she was like, it was dark, I just locked the door and I just went straight to bed, but I didn't see that you were naked. And that's when she also said, she was like, probably while you were sleeping you got hot and, you know, you just took them off, but I didn't notice. When I woke up, you had your clothes on. I'm like, yeah, because I had woken up in the middle of the night and I had put my pants on. She was like, you're good, I didn't see you. So that's what happened that day. I was cruda for sure. And I cried and I blacked out and got drunk, and yeah, that's what happens. So you guys know now the first time I got drunk, and then my first experience blacking out. After that, I probably black out every single year for my birthday. There was one time that I woke up with a chipotle right here on my birthday. That was another crazy time. But anyways, that's it for tonight's story time. Let me know in the comments below what other story times you guys would like to hear. I will have videos up every Tuesday and Thursday. I don't have a time figured out yet, but I've been kind of just uploading when I'm ready to upload it that day. Tuesdays are my health / weight loss journey videos, and Thursdays are my story times, fun times, challenges. I don't know, I'll have different things coming up on Thursdays for you guys. So let me know down below what other story times you guys would love to hear from me. I have a lot of crazy times, so let me know. That's it for today's video. I will see you guys on the next one. Love you guys.